这意思是相比较，一种是就是从那个欧美进口的这种，第二个是印度你自己算走私的吧，半走私的状态了，第三个就自己配的原料药。
This is Zhang Jejun. Today, he's making drugs. He isn't a chemist or a dealer. He's making medicine for his mother. She has stage 3 lung cancer. Jejun earns $300 a month, but the medicine needed to treat his sick mother cost $2,000. Looking for options, he turned online.
也是我也是没办法，这也是从网上搜索一些论坛才知道这些别的把戏药的。原来咱就医院就只推荐一种月砂，做这个药其实不需要专业知识，挺容易的。
Today, he's making WZ4002. It hasn't been approved by Chinese or American regulators, and it doesn't have a commercial name yet. But he can still order the raw ingredients for drugs like this online at a fraction of their official prices.
又是月砂，然后就是9291、2992、凡恩他尼、27替尼、4002、克唑替尼，现在是用了7种了。
The Communist Party of China says it provides close to universal healthcare coverage. Nearly 95% of people are insured here, including Jejun's mother. So why is he making drugs on the floor of his apartment when his mother has insurance? It's a symptom of a healthcare system in crisis. To understand this crisis, we need to rewind a bit. Under Mao Zedong, the communist state provided free healthcare for all. Decades later, China adopted a unique brand of capitalism that transformed the country from a poor farming nation into an economic superpower. Life expectancy soared. But the introduction of capitalism and the retreat of the state meant that healthcare was no longer free. Hospitals became profit-driven, and with limited accountability, they were widely accused of predatory behavior. A culture of mistrust and inequality now plagued the system. Here's what that looks like today for ordinary Chinese. It's 5 a.m., and about 100 people have gathered in a line in downtown Shanghai. This isn't the line to a movies or a holiday sale. It's the entrance to the Shanghai Cancer Center at Fudan University. Those who were willing to lose a night's sleep trying to get a spot in line now have one question in their mind. Will I be able to see a doctor today?
主要他们这里环境好乱了。想说现在我2点半起来了，2点半起来只有几个人，弄得下来100个人，整个那怎么办呢？
The scalpers are out, and they're selling spots in line.
环牛这么多了，你那边全部都环牛了。温州那边这里，温州这家看病，老婆看了30多万了。这个每个早上都是1点多钟，那天晚上感冒的。
China's line scalpers symbolize a greater dysfunction. Your chance of seeing a doctor here is directly related to how big your wallet is. Corruption is inherently part of the system. And in rural areas, it's worse. But leaving your home in the countryside could have a profound impact on what type of care you can get in the city. Despite its rapid modernization, China still uses what is known as the hukou system. Your hukou is defined by your birthplace, and you're only entitled to social services within that region. Everything from the schools your kids can go to what your health insurance will cover is determined the moment you are born. So if you get cancer and live in an area without an oncologist, you could be in trouble. Some here compare it to a caste system.
老百姓越是不公平，有钱的人特许门诊啊、专家门诊啊，里边自己就去好看了。我们老百姓没权没势，只好自己乖乖的在后面排队，早上很早就起来了。
By 7 a.m., that's 1 hour before opening time, the line has tripled in size. and then the news hits.
我因为看那个加州县里有2个人，一个呢是停人了，就剩急性还1个了，所以他票能挂几个。
Those are not good odds, but even worse, they aren't unusual. There are nearly 7,000 people per general practitioner in China. To put this number in perspective, the World Health Organization's international standard is 1 doctor for every 1,500 to 2,000 people. General practitioners we talk to in China typically see 70 to 80 patients per day. Specialists said they see up to 200, each just for minutes at a time. The doctors we talked to in the US said they see fewer than 30 patients a day. While rich Chinese will pay for individual care or leave the country altogether for it, the rest of the population, those dependent on health insurance, end up paying roughly 30% of their healthcare costs. Americans pay about 10%. Numbers like these have added up to a culture of conflict. With more and more patients and underpaid doctors, violence has become commonplace in hospitals across China. And with the state insurance system not meeting the rising costs of treatments and drugs, medical disputes often play out in public, on the hospital floor. Violence in hospitals has become so common in China, there's a word for it. Now, roughly translated as medical disturbance. Back at the Shanghai hospital, it's opening time. Scalpers are making a last effort to sell off doctor's appointments they secured in advance. Some that wouldn't wait or couldn't afford the scalpers' tickets try to cut in line and are thrown out by security guards. Once in the hospital, patients will stand in another line. It's the second, and there are more to come. They scan the board of available specialists, selecting one based on their best self-diagnosis. If they're lucky, the one they choose will have time to see them. For those who choose wrong, the cycle will begin again tomorrow. Others prefer to solve their problems at home.
说那我更跑了，我就说我也不放了，不好了。人家医生主治医生还说，老太太，你这轻，你回去他带着点药，你把你的身体养壮点，不用放了会好了。做的手术那费了劲呢，也好了才来耽误了别人了。那就回来，我说，反正不卡去了，该弄他往上。那小的不让，他就说还能不卡呀？吃点中药。
现在我也不知道是到底有什么这个科学的思路也没有，就是说就是现在就是逮着一样算一样，哪样有用咱就用哪样。具体他这个病这个进程就是这样的。
就这样，你说这人，你还能光活着吧？你有死的时候。